Welcome back to the Ride Boundless podcast. This episode is brought to you by Ride Clean. Ride Clean is an ultra premium polish and sealer that you can use on your motorcycle and or car. With Ride Clean, you get an easy solution to maintaining your ride clean and the benefits of UV protection and shine with active ingredient carnauba wax. Ride Clean is simple. Shake, spray, and wipe. Made in the USA. Visit rideclean.co. Use promo code RBPodcast for 15% off. Also, make sure to check out Los Pepes Summer Collection. Go to their Instagram and search Los Pepes CO. The summer collection is starting to release, and you don't want to miss it. My guest today, more than a badass, he's an artisan, hand making every part on his motorcycle, and as a result, winning over 20 awards. My good friend, Trevor Hibbs, aka Bulletproof Welder. Here we go. Trevor, thank you for coming out, man. How you been doing?
Doing all right, bro.
How you dealing with all this bullshit?
One day at a time, just like anybody else.
Yeah, you got. You were telling me earlier. You got. You think you got the COVID-19, or you were sick for a minute, or you had it?
Yeah,
you still
like
have it. Oh shit! This is the end, guys. We'll be back next time.
Yeah, no. Fucking March 10th, dude. I was hurt. I never take days off work, and I was getting the bike ready for Arizona Bike Week, and had it all broke down. All of a sudden, I got super sick and was getting like convulsions and like chills and body aches, and finally I decided to just go to the doctor. I had to take some days off work. Went to the doctor. This was before they could test unless you were out of the country, and they started testing me and doing blood work, and like my white blood cell count was down and my CRP levels were up. So my body was fighting an infection, and nobody, like, they didn't know what it was. And so it comes down to like three things, which is like AIDS, white blood cell, right? Which they tested me for, and I'm happy to say I'm clean. And what was it? Valley fever. And I had that in the past, but I've already beaten that. Well, it never really goes away, but that wasn't it. So then it came down to like two other things, and they kind of hinted around that I had leukemia. And I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. So started freaking out a little bit, and then went back to the doctor again, took some more blood tests. They said, we don't know what's going on. They sent me to another guy. And then they were getting ready to like send me to a leukemia specialist, and everything started coming back around. And I got the blood test results back to my app on my phone. So then I started doing my own research, and then I kept asking them. I was like, just test me for the Rona, man. Like, it could be that, right?
Right.
I never did. And just through my own research, like all my blood test results were matching up to the coronavirus. But anyway, muscled up, put the bike back together with it, actually, and then they canceled Bike Week. So
yeah, because you were getting ready for Bike Week in Arizona.
Yeah. But
so you're a believer of the COVID-19? It's legit.
Oh, dude, it's out there.
You know other people that have been sick with it, or?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, let's see, Lindsay, Motos and Letos, she's just getting over it. Her symptoms are exactly the same as mine. And then, people at work now that it's kind of that second wave going through, people have been getting it like crazy. So I don't know. I feel like I'm Superman because I got the antibodies. So
right.
What do you got? Huh?
Yeah. You got any money? How much money? Who's got the most?
Yeah. So
how was your background? Which I want to know how you got into welding. But how was the workforce dealing with it? Are you guys wearing masks? Are you doing 6 feet distance or not really?
No,
I see you fuck around with the guys, and
it's balls out. Like everybody when they first started it, like because I just changed employers too, but. When we first started, everything hit. Everybody, the safety guy come out and no, everybody distance and wear masks. And we're like, okay, where's hand sanitizer? Where's the, hand wash stations? Where's this? Where's that? Well, at the time, everything was sold out. Couldn't get toilet paper,
Yeah.
Couldn't get hand wash, couldn't get this, but everybody had to work. So one guy caught it in the yard, and they tried to shut the job down, and the customer's like, oh, we don't know what to tell you. You got to keep working. This is, money is businesses. And I won't tell you the project we were working on, but it was pretty big wall, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I know exactly what you're saying.
But
tell us who paid for it, and we'll know.
Did Mexico pay for it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get involved in that. I just got a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting paid. That's good. Yeah. That's all that matters.
But So then from there, like I jumped ship. My buddy Kevin, he started a company and he kept bugging me to go to work for him. And I just said, all right, cool. So we jumped over and I started back in the oil fields again and, you know, designing and building operating systems and yada, yada, yada. But same deal. We'd all show up and talk a bunch of crap about how it's fake or whatever. Everybody's got their own theories, but you got to do what you got to do, man. We're not going to get paid to sit at the house. So
that's good. You guys never really stopped.
Haven't stopped one bit. But my background with welding, I don't know. Let's see. We'll start back. In high school, I did it.
High school?
Yeah, all the way back to high school. I started freshman year and did auto class and got okay building stupid stuff, barbecues, this, that, the other thing. But I wasn't really like a profound welder, I guess you'd say. And got out and learned the basics. Went straight into the oil fields at 18. At 19, I was a pipeline welder. Did that for, 3-4 years. And then I met Kevin, who I'm working with now. And I was in the back of the shop. We were welding on this huge pressure vessel, dude. And it was like 110 outside. And literally I pulled my hood up and I'm just pouring sweat. And Kevin comes out and he's like, hey, you still want to be a welder? And you got, mind you, me and Kevin, man, we talk a lot of crap. So
I know, I see the Instagram. You guys fucking
great,
have too much
dude.
fun.
So he's
Way
like, hey,
too much fun.
You still want to be a welder? I said, yeah, that's where the money's at. And he goes, let me show you my paycheck. And I'm like, whatever, man. I just put my hood back down and keep burning rod. So then he comes back out and he goes, hey, come in here. There's air conditioning. And at that time I said, all right, you got me. So
Yeah, man.
I stopped welding at like 21, became a foreman, then became a superintendent at like 26. Started my own company, later on, and yada, yada, yada. But I still always kept my hand in it. Like, I always like fabricating, like building things, just taking something from nothing and, building it. It's just, I'm kind of artistic, I guess you could say, but
It's an art.
it is. It definitely is. But I'm not like some bang up badass pipeline welder anymore. Like, it's for the birds, bro. I can't stand it. Like, when it's 110 outside, I'm just over it. So
Yeah, it's a job. When it's over, it's over.
And it gets boring. Like, seriously, when you just got your hood down all day and you're just burning rod over and over, I got to keep myself busy or I just get bored with work. So,
But what made you get into it when you were in high school? I got a good buddy of mine. He's a welder. He got into it because his father was doing it.
it was mainly art, honestly. Like, so I'd see sculptures and I'd see, because I was into graffiti a lot back in the day. Like, I had a whole crew that we used to go around and like hit trains and stupid shit like that. So that was that. And then I started getting more into like, building like moving structures. And like, I built a whole skeleton, I think when I was like 19, and just like I took ball bearings and weaved in muscle structure and came out super sick. But then, working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, I didn't have enough time for that. So then I just chased the money and then kind of put the art thing aside. But now, getting into the bike thing, that's where now I'm like, okay, well, what can I make? Let's make some cool shit. So
Yeah, which we'll talk about that. Actually, now, let's introduce you. How would you introduce yourself and introduce your motorcycle, and let's start talking about what you've done with your motorcycle customly.
Well, let's see. Trevor Hibbs, from Bakersfield, California originally. Bounced back and forth from LA. Worked all over the country. Got into motorcycles heavily about 4 years ago. Another guy I worked with, Kenny Johnson, he was a pro motocross. So then he started getting into the Harleys because of the unknown dudes. And then he would come to work and show me these videos on his phone. He's like, look at these dudes are doing Harley wheelies and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, dude, you're insane. Excuse me. So next thing you know, he showed me videos of him doing stand-up wheelies. And I'm like, dude, you're insane. All right, wait a minute. I'm starting to like this a little bit. So me and him clicked up, and then I found the Lowrider S. And
That's your first bike?
That was my first bike. Yep.
Shit. So This is what, 2016?
Yeah, basically 17.
17.
So then from there, started fixing it up, and I was going to do like the stunts and all that stuff. And then unfortunately, Kenny passed away, and then I just kept the thing going, dude. I was like, man, I can't.
Related with motorcycles or?
No. Long story, but yeah, he was out partying. Dude, this guy, you tell Kenny to jump over that couch and he'd jump over the house. Like, he was that type of dude, you know what I mean? So he was out partying one night and somebody gave him the wrong mixture and he didn't wake up. So
Alcohol poisoning.
something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyhow, he's forever in there. You know what I mean? Every time I win a show, I always think, I'm like, hey, he's hopefully looking down, being like, what's up, homie? I got you. You know?
Yeah.
He probably would tell you you're a pussy because you can't wheel it with that bike.
Yeah,
'cause it's for show.
yeah, probably. I guarantee he would. Yeah, that's no bullshit, but it is what it is, you know?
So you got into the lowrider. First thing you did was pipes, bars, the regular stuff.
Yeah, the same old shit everybody does. Saddleman. But my main thing was like, I was into drag racing before, right? So I was always into motorcycles. I just didn't trust myself enough to get one. So once I got older, I was like, okay, cool. But so back in the day, you know, right into high school, I had a 73 Camaro, 350, you know, raced, did the illegal drags, got really heavy into that. Then I got into the import scene, and then I did a motor swap, and I had like the fastest Civic in Bakersfield. And then that whole Fast and Furious thing hit, and I was like, all right, I got to get out of this. So I went back to American Muscle. So I bought a Camaro, started fixing that up, was doing the drags and that, and then started getting into bracket racing. So I built another guy's car. We bought one of the CTSVs when they first came out, you know, with the superchargers.
Yeah.
So then we started hitting bracket races, Vegas, you know, Famosa, and that was a lot of fun. So that's more of my background. So when I got this thing, I was like, all right, cool. It's got a 110 in it, right? At the time, it was the business.
Yeah, the top.
So
At the time,
yeah. So took that thing out, put some 585 cams in it, tuned it, put the pipes on, went through a couple different pipes, and dude, that engine was a screamer. You remember you had one?
Yeah.
I loved it. But
yeah, for me, I loved it because I had a few Dynas at the time, and it was the first time you had the 110. You had ABS, you had cruise control, and that to me, like on a Dyna, was the shit. I've had it on the baggers, but never on a Dyna. And my buddy Dean Del Rey, he had my bike first. It was his bike. He has a podcast called Let There Be Talk, where he just talks to like old rockers, and it's a great podcast. Everybody should check it out. He got a sponsorship deal with El Cajon, Harley Davidson. And they hooked him up with the bike. He got like a fucking super deal. It was practically free or something. Long story short, when he showed me cruise and ABS and this, I was like, fuck, man, this is way better than my FX DXT, you know, back when I had mine in the day, and I had that thing fixed up, fully loaded. And I said, hey, bro, you want to sell it? And he was like, no. 6 months later, he's like, all right, I'll give you a deal. He gave me a deal, and then 5-6 months later, Harley says they're not making Dynas anymore. And he's like, you lucky fucking fucker. Yeah. But anyways, continue. So then you did the basics. You got the seats, you got the bars, you got the pipes. When did you start welding and start making your own shit?
Well, I always wanted to do that right out of the box because I wanted to. Well, let's just back up. So I started going to Born Free in 2015, I believe. And I started seeing all these choppers, and then I got to the Dyna section, and I was like blown away by so many bikes. So this one bike in particular just stuck out more than all of them, and that was that guy, True G. He had the gold and this, that, and I'm like, man, this thing's amazing. So I went and talked to him, freaking nice guy. And he's like, yeah, bro. And I said, man, one day I'm going to build something, you know, that's going to compete with this. And, you know, of course, I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, whatever, next guy.
Sure, yeah.
So then I always had that in the back of my head, and I said, man, I got to do something, but I'm going to do it my way, you know. I'm not going to copy this guy's shit. I want to do it my way, which is, you know, I was a commercial fisherman. I'm really into the nautical thing, you know, the boats, the scuba diving. I want to incorporate that because I grew up watching like Jesse James. I'm sure you guys all did too.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, that was like the business. Like that dude still to this day is
legend.
Motherfuckers, he's rated.
He's badass, yeah.
So
I used to know his painter, Hot Dog. He painted a few of our bikes too, yeah.
So then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do that kind of that level, you know. So first go around, painted it, had my boy Joe, Mr. Joe, he did the airbrushing. And I bought this like shitty looking fairing and tried to convince myself it was nice. But anyway, long story short, got rid of that. So this is like the third breakdown I've done. Took that 110 out. Was going to put a 117 in it. And then I was like, why don't I just build a 117 from scratch, right? So got Dark Horse flywheel. Got some CNC ported heads. Got the T-Man high compression pistons. Got some 660 heads or 660 cams. What else? Finally just got this thing built and golded the engine, pulled the 110 out. So now I've got a spare 110 sitting there, and then put the 117 in, and it's man, like I can't keep the front end on the ground half the time. But I also did some gearing and whatnot. But this last go around for Arizona Bike Week, that's when like I think I was like, man, I think I'm at that level as True G right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Why do you pick gold?
I don't know. I honestly just, it's the brass. The way it started was brass, right? So
Yeah.
to me, you know, on a ship, on the nautical theme, making things from brass to me is like 10 times easier out of anything else. It's soft. You can work the metal easier. You put it on a lathe, you can just rip it apart and do what you got to do. It's expensive.
You can manipulate it.
Yeah. It's expensive and it's heavy, but you can shine it up just to make it look like gold. So a lot of people think it's all gold, but you know, half the stuff on there's brass. So that's why I went with the brass.
So what did you do? What was the first thing you did visually? You know, you did the engine guard, you did the rails. I mean, what happened? What have you start building?
Well, first it was, I don't want a crash bar like everybody else has got, but let's try this. So I started tinkering around and I started welding up crash bars, and then Bunking had the California cutouts.
Yeah.
And you could buy those for like $50. And I was like, well, okay, let's do that. So I did that. So then I figured, all right, well, let's make brass crash bars. Nobody's done that. So made those. Then I said, okay, well, how am I going to make these brass sliders? So I got solid brass, put them on a lathe, drilled it out on my buddy Steve's shop, and then made the brass sliders. And then from there, built the sissy bar, powder coated it, built gauge pods. What else did I make? I made a bunch of different stuff. I took some of it off since then. But then this last go around, I took some flat bar brass, grinded it down, and then my one of my ex-girlfriends gave me a scuba diver helmet keychain.
Yeah.
And I bought some of those Karayakin lights. I don't know if you've seen those, those little bastards.
And it
Yeah,
is super
the tiny
bright.
ones.
Yeah. So that fit perfectly in that keychain. I'm like, oh, dude,
I got an idea.
here we go. So 8 hours later, I had one side fabbed up, and then I made up a cleat and, you know, boat cleat where you tie the rope on.
Yeah.
And then grinded little channels for electrical, got it all on there, and then mounted it. And I was like, dude, this is rad. So then made the other one, and then gone from there. And like actually right now, I'm talking to Karayakian, or how do you pronounce that?
Karayakin.
Yeah, whatever. So
Yeah, something like that. We all know what you meant.
Shout out.
so I'm talking to them, and I think I'm gonna build the next crash bar with like some blinkers in it. So
That's it. That'd be dope.
yeah. So
That'd be dope. It's perfect. You can run
Nobody's
the
done
wires
that
through
yet.
inside the tubes.
No, they've done
drill
it
in the back end.
in some cafe racers. They've done it before with the U tube that they put in the back under the seat. They've drilled inside of the tube, and the LEDs come out from there.
Okay.
So it's maybe a good
But not- but
reference.
not a crash.
Model gadget, no.
Yeah, but not
No,
a crash bar. That'd
yeah.
be cool because it'd be sticking out more.
Right on
You
the
know, and
ends.
the running lights would be it'd be safer. Running lights would be better. Turn signals would be better.
Have you seen those Model gadget ones that go at the end of the bars for handlebars on the R90s and all the Triumph? Those could be a good inspiration because it does 360.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can see it from the front and from the back. It could be just the only turn signal that you have.
I haven't seen that one. I would have to check that one out. You started building, you started customizing, you started welding, you started polishing. When did you decide to get into the shows, and how many fucking awards have you won now? Because
I've lost track, man. I'm trying to be cocky or nothing, but there's been a few. I went to, let's see, what was the first one I hit? CJ put on Dyna Days up in Sacramento, and it was like Sacramento Harley or whatever. So I just powder coated a bunch of stuff, and that's when I still had that shitty Pharaoh on, and I decided to go up there, and then I took third, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I got something going on here. A lot of people seem to like this little theme I got going. So from there, I took it, and then I went to a lot of little stupid like bike nights and a couple little cruise nights, and you know, nothing substantial. Then I went to these guys. I was out in Santa Maria Harley, and my engine builder's out there. So he brought out his dyno trailer. So I'm out there dynoing my bike, trying to get it all dialed in for drag racing. And these guys come up. This guy named Steve hits me up, and he's like, hey, man, we want your level of bike at our show. I'm like, well, level of my bike? This bike, to me, I'm like, whatever, you know.
Did you have the paint job by then?
I had the other paint job. I had the different fairing. I still had, you know, a couple of things. It was nice, don't get me wrong, but I didn't have like the rotors and all the little bells and whistles that I made.
Which takes time.
Yeah. So then he's like, check it out. Bring your bike. Number one gets a brand new Bassani. I said, well, I'll tell you what, dude. If you're inviting me, I'm going to build you a first place bike. He goes, all right, you got, I think it was a month and a half. So immediately I went home, stripped the bike, called my airbrusher, and just went to town, dude. Ripped the thing apart, redid everything from top to bottom, powder coated, built a bunch of stuff, built the sissy bar, new fairing, gas cap I made the little scuba helmet for, or no, I'm sorry, the oil dipstick. I mean, from top to bottom, just cleaned it up. Super nice. Went out there, took first, and then won that Bassani. So then from there, I was like...
I remember that one. And you didn't even have a Bassani pipe.
No.
It was a Bassani...
No. Yeah, I won. That was a different one. I forgot about that one.
I love that one.
So, yeah, I went to the Bassani 50th year anniversary.
Yeah.
And just as a joke, I was like, well, I'll enter my bike. And I had a shitbag Red Thunder on there, and I hate those pipes. But so I'm in the competition, and it just so happened that Carl Bassani was a fisherman, and he loved the theme. So he's like, yeah,
and you won. Yeah,
I won.
That's
I took
fucking crazy.
first place Dyna without a Bassani. That one was. I
was like, what the fuck's going on here? But he was a fisherman. That's
he was a fisherman. Got that angle. So yeah, but then after I won the Live Fast Rally, I got the Bassani, and then I started like doing research on how to do a gold pipe. So I started looking and, you know, powder coat, and there's a million different ways you can do it, but nothing substantially nice. So I seen a few other guys had done it, but they hadn't done the whole pipe. Like this guy Bradford had done just the pipes going to the collector and then not the whole thing. So I was picking his brain a little bit and talking to some other people, and then I found titanium nitrate. So titanium nitrate you can use on like cutting tools. Like when you go to Home Depot, you buy, you know, a set of drill bits and they've got gold on them. That's titanium nitrate. Well, the whole reason of that's because it holds up heat and, you know, cutting power. So it's rated at like 1700 degrees. And I said, well, here it is. So I found a place right here in Santa Clarita called Advanced Coating Technologies, and shot him the pipe. I figured, well, what do I got to lose? There's a free pipe. Let's try it. And that thing came out freaking awesome.
Amazing. Looks fucking badass.
And then from there, I was like, okay, what show's the next one? So I entered Chopper Fest in Ventura. And dude, as soon as actually that one, we get in there, we line it up, all the Dynas are in there. The judges come by, they take one look at my bike and then just keep going. And I'm like, what's that mean? He didn't write nothing on the clipboard, dog. Like, what's going on here? Yo, shit. So I didn't think I was going to win nothing. Day goes on. Sure enough, man, I took first place at that one. And I'm just, you know, flabbergasted. But that's probably my coolest trophy. Like, I don't know if you've seen that David Mann, like the art that they do.
Yeah.
So I got that one mounted on the wall. But
I mean, you got almost a room full of trophies right now.
I am getting there. Oh, and then there was Vegas too. I forgot about that. But yeah, the guys over at I entered that was it. So 3 years ago, I entered October. I entered the Vegas Bike Fest for V Twin Visionary, and they just glanced over my bike. Cool, whatever, and they're like, come back next year. So next year rolls around, and I was dead set, man. I said, I'm gonna make a mark. So went out there with the new paint job, new fairing, all that stuff.
Right.
Entered the show, and then I walked by Jeff, and I said, hey, let's go take a look at that, man. You remember me from last year? And he goes, oh yeah, I remember you. So that right there, I think that was one of my biggest, like, Vegas Bike Week best Dyna. That one was hosted. That was in
old downtown, right?
Yeah, that was Fremont-ish.
Yeah, Fremont Street.
Yeah,
by the bars and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a good little bike night.
That was fun. Yeah, that one.
How many trophies do you think you have right now?
Oh man, like 20 maybe.
At least 20?
Yeah.
Fuck, in 3-4 years?
In about 2 years, yeah. Something like that.
So what's next? What are you going to customize next? What are you going to...
I've got some things in the works, man. I definitely do. I got a freaking crate full of stuff I'm getting ready to send to gold. And then we're going to hit Sturgis. Going to enter that V Twin Visionary show. There's another one on the 9th, I think. Some guys are putting on. It's like a Dyna FXR show. And then I'll probably from there hit... obviously Born Free, but they don't really have a Dyna class at Born Free now.
Yeah, I think it's just
It's
general.
just kind of like
It's just
show
general
go.
bike. Yeah.
So I'm not trying to go out there and win nothing. I'll just go out there and show it. And my problem is, dude, like I ride the hell out of this bike, bro. Like
I know.
and trying to keep it nice, like it does not stay in the garage. Like I'm obviously at your house here in Studio City, and I live in Bakersfield, so I hammer this bike, and then I'll go ride the canyons. Like there's a Kern Canyon in Bakersfield, and you know these things when you put these miles on them, dude, the chips in the paint, the frame. I mean, right now I've almost got a hole scraped in that freaking Bassani.
Yeah, you get rocks when you're riding.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It just
You ever thought about getting like a second bike, like a BMW GS or something? Oh shit! Where'd he go?
Oh, sorry.
He left.
I don't know.
No, but you ever thought about getting a second bike?
No,
I know
I
you
do.
mentioned the bagger, and I know you mentioned some other stuff, but
I've got so many different ideas, man. I want to build a chopper from scratch. You know what I mean? Do the frame, all that stuff. Then I want to build a stunt bike. Then I want to do a bagger, and then you know, where does it end?
If you would have to put a price right now on your bike,
I actually did it as a joke. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
So everybody kept DMing me like, "Hey, what's it gonna cost?" You know, and I got sick of answering back. And first I was like 65,000 as a joke, just to keep people from bugging me all the time. So then I was at a shop in Bakersfield, and this old bike builder guy, he's like, "Man, I heard there's rumors going around you're selling this thing," and I said, "No, not really. But if the price was right, I would." And then
Anybody, yeah.
you know what I mean? So he's like, "Well, what's that price going to be?" I said, 45,000. And he goes, "Wow, that's an expensive Dyna." So then that night I said, "Well, let's just get this over with." So I got on FXR Trader and I said, "Hey man, 24-hour post. This thing will smoke your street bike and drop pennies."
Right.
And he posted it. So everybody started, you know, some people were saying, "Oh, it's worth every penny." And then a couple other people were talking a little shit. And then, oh, well, it is what it is. I'm not trying to sell it, but like I said, money talks.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ideas that we had with Colin and talking to Robert a lot was every single bike that we own, we should put up in the website of Los Pepes, completely overpriced. And if somebody wants to buy it, why not?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll just build another one. Because the first thing we do is, even with the BMWs, we got them, we unbuild them completely, send them to paint and customize
Powder
stuff.
coat or-
Powder
yeah.
coat or whatever it is.
Right.
And it's, at least it's personal, you know, it's a little bit customized. Not built, but customized for sure.
yeah, we had some other ideas too. We were thinking about raffling bikes.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about like how do I maximize the price on my Dyna lowrider? You know, would be fucking.
Well, with the
raffling it.
BMW, like you're pretty close to West Hollywood, right?
What's that?
So, I mean,
Yeah.
For the parades?
yeah, the gay people, like they
you
have
mean
a lot of
regular?
money, dude.
Yeah,
And
they
Robert,
do.
and Robert's bike have a lot of colors also.
It
They might.
does.
Yeah. They do. They love
Powder
that
coat
shit.
that,
They
you know.
love it, man. They'll fucking
Hey,
pay.
girl.
They'll pay $40,000-$50,000, no problem. Absolutely. But I saw you eyeing Jaime's bike, you know, and all blacked out.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. You ever see that movie Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, of course.
Remember that part when he goes, "Sewer rat might taste like pumpkin pie, but I ain't never gonna eat the nasty motherfucker."
That's right.
That's how I feel about BMWs.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably good for you guys, but they're just
No,
not for me.
I felt the same way for a while. I was at Eagle Riders for a minute in 2015, and we picked up a new 2016 for the inventory, and I took it out for a spin through Malibu, and there was nothing at that time that I liked about it. Absolutely nothing. I rode it all the way to Neptune's Net. I didn't like the grips. I didn't like the position. My balls were being smashed. I mean, it was just, I really didn't care for it. And same thing, my buddy Dean Del Rey back in 2009, 2010, he picked one up and he was like, "It's the greatest bike out there," you know, and Dean's Harley all the way. I mean, you see this guy, he's Harley rock and roll, fucking insane. And when he pulled up in a GSA, I was like, "You're crazy." But then the second time around when we went to Joshua Tree, that shit fucking, you know, really turned me. I was
Yeah,
like, this is pretty amazing.
I've only ridden Harleys since basically I started riding in the US. I started riding when I was 18, 19. But in Spain you ride whatever, even scooters most of the time because you're in the city and that's what you ride. But when I came here 9 years ago, I got a Sportster, and then you know Softail Heritage Classic, and then a Dyna, and bro, everything has felt short compared to a Dyna or a Harley. until I tried for that weekend this bike, and it's just it opens a new possibility of ripping in the streets and then going off road, which you're never gonna do with a Harley.
Right, and I think and not that we're not trying to sell you on this, but just to paint the last of it. That day that we rode it, we rode in rain, we rode in traffic, we rode in dirt, we rode in off road, we drove over 100 miles. Like every scenario.
Yeah.
That you can ride in.
No,
there was many.
Those things are probably like super reliable. They're probably they got the best of the best on them. All that stuff. I mean, you take a Harley. I mean, look at what we do to them, dude. We rip them apart.
Well,
the suspension sucks.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I got to change on my street glide right now. My fucking suspension. I hate this fucking suspension.
Yeah.
I still got to change the suspension. I got to change the front. I got to change. I mean, it never ends. I mean, HD is hundreds of dollars, like you said.
But I just don't. It's not my personality. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it could be. So, anyways, if you were to get a second bike, you would just build it from the ground up. You're saying?
I've been thinking about doing because I want an M8, dude. Like you can get serious power out of those things. They're just bolt on. You know what I mean? Like leading edge kits right now are just insane with the bolt on power. But I don't want to scrap this thing. Like I love that bike. That's my first bike. I don't want to get rid of it. So
it's an amazing first bike.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I was spoiled. Trust me. Matter of fact, Kenny told me when I got it, he said, I told you to get a Dyna, not the best Dyna they ever made. So that was kind of the inside joke. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking I want to do a performance bagger really bad, but it has to be an M8. So I'm still sitting on that 110, and I don't want that to go to waste, right? So who knows? If I get a frame and the price is right, then I'll probably build a stunt bike. If I come across like a salvage bagger, then I'll do that. Who knows? Maybe I'll go finance a new bagger. But
if you would have to buy anything that is not a Harley,
I was digging those Indians when they came out. The FTR 1200s.
Have you ridden them?
No, but after I've seen all the reviews and my buddy bought one, like
Do you get to ride Kevin's KTM? Because he was riding it for a little bit, right?
Yeah, no. I smoked him on that thing though. We dragged, but no. Let's see. If I was to buy anything else but a Harley. Doesn't Triumph come out with like 160 horsepower or something?
I think so, right?
Yeah. I think let's like the Triumph Rocket or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something
These
like
things
that.
are so ugly though.
So you go for something with speed.
Yeah, for sure.
So what about a sport bike?
I've never really
Croc Rocket?
Crotch rocket.
I would ride one, but it's just nah.
Croc rocket?
Croc Rocket.
What'd you say, bro?
Croc Rocket.
Crotch rocket.
No, I'd get a super bike like those Ducatis. I think those things look awesome, but I don't know. They're just not my.
You don't like the multi-stratas or the hyper motards, like the BMW, but the Ducati versions.
Yeah,
the adventure bikes or dirt bikes, or you're not into that. You're more really speed, performance.
I love pulling up to light, especially from Long Beach to Huntington. Like that's my little strip, and I'll pull up to those lights, and people know that run that strip. Like it's just the bike racing highway. So when you pull up, it doesn't care if it's R1 or R6. Just the way I've got that thing geared, and getting somebody from light to light on a Harley, and the look on their face when you get them.
Yeah, it's a good fucking feeling.
It's awesome. And then people are like, what the fuck is that? To me, I don't know. I dig that. But there's really not any other bikes that I'm like, when those Indian, what are they? The Challengers that came out, the bagger ones, when those came out, I was eyeballing those.
They're flimsy as fuck.
Dude, man. And then, time tells. Everybody you can't get parts for them. When they break, they break. They don't really support their people that buy them. When they get a recall, you can't get them fixed. It's just, one thing after another. But
yeah, it becomes a big problem. That same year, 2015, at Eagle Riders, half of the LA corporate store was an Indian dealer.
Oh, really?
And that's why they have it painted kind of like Indian colors. And they were an exclusive Indian dealer. And that just didn't last. It just wasn't a good business model. They had a lot of problems. I rode every single Indian. They just felt so flimsy, especially compared to the Harleys, which it's like Harleys is already bad enough. Without custom, a stock one. Mm-hmm. This was really bad. They look cool. They look fucking amazing, but I didn't have good experiences with it. And if somebody else did, then that's different. Now I gotta say, I believe you've earned every single one of those awards.
Well, thank you.
Just because for being your first bike, I mean, I don't know anybody that has a first bike and looks as badass as yours. For having such a badass bike and actually riding it everywhere, that's another thing I've never seen. Most people that I know that have nice custom bikes, they usually just garage it. They have another bike to ride, and that's it. So, I mean, just those two things alone are pretty fucking impressive.
Well, for me, it's like a constant progression. You know, I always got to make it better. So, to me, like once I start screwing it up and I see enough chips in the paint or whatever the case may be, I want better performance. You know, want to try this or gold out that or blah blah blah. It's got to be something better, right? So it's a constant progression for me. So that's what I look forward to. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go smash the canyons this weekend and, you know, wear a hole in the pipe and do this and get chips in the paint, blah blah blah. But in the back of my head, I know I'm gonna make it better. You know, 6 to 8 months to a year from now. So that's where, to me, that's the enjoyment. That's what I love. Like I love the challenge of trying to rebuild it better than the last time. You know what I mean? So that's what's kept me going on this thing.
What was the most difficult thing you've built or added or painted or customized on the bike?
Well, when I first started, you know, everything was difficult, you know,
right?
Because you've never done it, right? So
right.
I've changed the bars out like probably 6 times now, but those were a pain in the ass. And now the most tedious thing was I took every wire and sleeved it, right? So I've had to pull the pins out of the connectors, go through, sleeve it, put shrink wrap, repin it. Like that took the most time and just wherewithal, I guess you'd say. But then the other one was pulling that 117 out. Once we built the 117, the cams were so big they were hitting the top of the rocker boxes. So little did I know, oh shit, we got to grind those out. So took those out, grinded it out, and then just one thing after another. You know, big engine, big problems. So it took me 2-3 months to get that engine dialed in because I was running the Power Commander 4 first, and it just kept killing the bike. Every time I'd get on it, kept kicking an oil light, just numerous. I'd go to the drag races, and as soon as I get on it, dude, I hit second, it would just kill the bike, and then I'd lose a race. And I was like, oh my God, this is driving me insane. So that probably was the hardest thing to figure out as far as like, because, engines are engines, but electrical bugs and wires, dude.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was, once I got to that new Power Commander, all the problems went away. And then I retuned it. Like I had a really serious, like wild tune in that thing. Like it did not want to run under 3,000. Like it just wanted to go. So I took it to AIP speed. We had it on there for 6 hours on the dyno. And the guy,
6 hours,
6 hours, dude. And it's running like a champ. I had to pull some power out of it, but reliability, as much as I ride this thing, if it was a track bike, fine. But as much as I ride this thing, cool. But just know inside I can pull more power out of there. Rob, you wanna race that BMW?
Let's race, man. Let's race the fucking BMW.
How many horsepower you got on that?
Are you ready, man?
Under 35, under 36.
And let's
130. You got more than I do. Let's go line them up.
let's do it. Let's fucking do that.
Where do you do the drag races?
Anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
In
down
a
the street.
stoplight. I don't care.
In the LA River.
In front of In and Out.
Yeah. Don't matter.
Were you a big fan? I know this is a random question, but were you a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies?
No, I hate him.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we were doing that shit right before it came out, and like we were a bunch of punk kids, dude. We found a place in San Pedro that was selling these Japanese engines. You could get them out. We'd rip them out of the C trains. We'd go down and just a bunch of dumbass kids that didn't have enough money to do this, but we were getting these motors like super cheap, and then we'd shoot a bunch of nitrous in them, blow them up. Like I loved it. It was a big scene before that movie came out, and then once that movie came out, then all the rest of the people jumped on the bandwagon, and it kind of killed it. So, but
yeah, it was like exclusive, and
it was so much fun, dude. It was like dodging the cops, and there were so many different like illegal drag spots that we'd go to, and even the cops would have their cars. Like we'd be out there racing like these Corvettes and shit, but we always knew like when they were going to raid the drags because the cops weren't out there dragging their cars. You know what I mean? So like if you didn't see the yellow Corvette, then hey, everybody keep your eye out because they're going to raid it.
There's a problem, yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. I loved it.
How do you guys meet?
Oh yeah.
I know how we met, but I don't know how you got the ride clean. Because
no, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
What's your name? West Hollywood though?
West Hollywood.
He walked by. I had the BMW. He's like, "Hey, nice bike, big
chaps.
boy."
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He was wearing chaps, or I was wearing. I don't remember.
No.
No.
It was. Let's see. I went to. Was it Dyna Days or that one in Long Beach? I can't remember. I think it was Dyna Days.
I think it's Dyna Days because then you brought somebody to the AIM Expo.
That's right. Yeah. Dyna Days, went out there on a whim. Just fuck it, I'm going. Got out there and then
That dust storm and
that
shit.
dust storm.
Oh, so it was 2 years ago, not last year.
Yeah.
Oh
Mad
man.
Max.
Well, actually, in the same place that we did the episode just like 2 episodes ago with
the supermoto.
Brian,
We filmed
the
there.
supermoto.
Brian's out there. Yeah, that's where he does it.
Okay.
So yeah, we were doing so Ride Clean and Los Pepes. We had a booth over there on Dyna Days. It was the first Dyna Days they
The
were
very
doing.
first one, yeah.
And that shit was a fucking dust storm from hell.
But
You came by.
Oh,
I was always looking for something, right? So, that was you.
Oh man,
What did you say, Robert? You said
my shit's silent.
always
My shit's
silent.
My shit, but they triple dialed.
Oh, okay.
West Hollywood. Hey, girl.
Far away,
I
baby.
miss you.
Hey, boy.
So, I was always looking for something to like just hit the bike and then take off, right? And I wanted to do everything with it. I tried so much different shit. And then he convinced me. He had some other guy there that I don't even know who he was, but I was like, whatever, shut up. Just give me the shit.
No.
Was it real?
I don't know. It wasn't him. No, it was somebody else.
Was it a black dude?
No.
No. Nate? No,
He
it
was
doesn't
like
matter.
doing the oil, like pouring the oil on the bike. And
Oh, that was Robert. This is
I
a
don't know.
story.
I was just like, whatever, dude. Just let me try this shit. Whatever. I'm trying to find something good. So took it home. Shit worked. I'd hit the whole bike and then boom, I was out. That was after I did the custom paint the first time. And then I fell in love with that shit. But then it was kind of expensive and I'm like, fucking god damn it. I'm not
But
gonna pay.
he ordered every month. I remember
Yeah.
seeing it. And there was like at least 3-4 months that you're ordering consistently. And I'm like, Trevor.
Yeah.
All right, I kept sending it out.
So then, but you were hooking me up with a code, so I was like, all right, whatever. So then, when you had that one at IMS, like, all right, it's time to double up on this. And I took all my boys from Long Beach in there. I was like, hey, check this shit out, man. This stuff works. So we stocked up there because you gave us, I think, like a hell of a deal. And then from there, I'm like, dude, what's it gonna take to sell this shit? And that's when I started really hitting the shows because I was going to the shows anyway. So I was like, man, Robert, let's link up, dude. Let's do the Ride Clean. I'll put my bike in these shows and then I'll sell this shit.
Yeah, you were actually telling me that your bike's already submitted. It's going to be at the show, but it's a 3-day show anyways. You got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Might as well just
Start
get your
fucking
shit
slanging
out
it.
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it did really good for a while. And then some of your competitors started hitting me up trying to give me sponsorships, and I tried it and just, dude, I cannot. Like, there's been numerous people that hit me up on Instagram, like, hey, try our shit, fucking run our stuff, post it on Instagram, but I'm not that dude, man. Like, I can't, if it ain't right, I just, fuck you, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
I know you gave me some I don't want to say names, but you gave me some orange stuff. Man.
I want to say names.
Man. And you know, the guy's
Some other
story.
purple stuff.
The guy's story, yeah, but he was some orange stuff and then
Oh,
some
the purple stuff. That guy, he was a little aggressive, man. I was like,
He was
dude,
very aggressive. Like I actually
I don't know
wanted
if
to
you're where I'm from, homeboy, but these things still work.
Yeah, don't fucking play like that. But I haven't seen his stuff at all. But
Nah, he fell off.
yeah, he fell off, and he spent some decent money. But again, his story, the purple stuff back in the days in 2008, you know, was I used it. You know, it was pretty fair. There was nothing else. But after 2-3 years of doing my product, I was like, fuck, this is it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, even all the boys in Bakersfield, like, they've completely fucking depleted my supply because everybody comes to my house to work on their shit.
Yeah.
And hey, let me get some of that Ride Clean. So everybody loves it, man. That's good shit. I personally, I haven't found anything better.
Yeah. No, I mean every show I've done from Vegas to California, I sell out completely.
Yeah.
I saw, and this is not a promotion at all for Ride Clean, but this episode's brought to you by Ride Clean.
I was like, it's not a promotion. You'll hear that. at the
I mean, go
beginning
get
of
me
the
a
episode.
box. Tell me.
now, what other? Do you work with any other sponsorships or anybody else you collaborate with?
Yeah, once I won Vegas, I've always been in touch with Carlos over there at Plex Audio because I've always wanted that thing, dude. Those speakers are just insanely loud. You know, there's a lot of other ones out there, but Carlos was like a solid dude. Every time I met him at shows, and you know, we'd shoot the shit, and like he'd throw me a T-shirt and whatever else, and then he's seen my bike, and he's just like, "That's it, man." And he shot me that new Plex 2.0, and and I put it on there and just like literally have to turn it down at the fucking stoplights, dude. It's that loud. But that guy's been, you know, and this is, I'm not that guy that comes with my hand out, you know, hey, look, I got a nice bike, but like,
Give me free shit.
bring me free shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. But he shot me that Plex, dude, and I ended up.
Colin.
Did you see?
Just kidding, bro.
So I made I went and I cut out Plex audio out of metal, welded it to a base, powder coated it red, and then had my buddy
You built the frame.
Did you see it?
No, I don't think I saw that version.
But I just took some metal, cut out Plex audio in their logo, like their style of graffiti or whatever. Cut that all out of metal, welded it to a base plate, and then powder coated it, and then had my boy Corey fucking pinstripe it, and then I sent it to him just as, you know, hey, thanks, bro. So
That's fucking amazing.
yeah, I mean, you know, that's what it is in this business. Like, I noticed on Instagram, everybody's like, oh, fucking free. Look how many followers I have. Can you give me free gold pipe? Fucking no.
I talk about it all the time.
To you? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because I work with the company now, not work for them, but I work with them to help people out. Like these people, all they give a fuck about is like, okay, give me your finished product, and then we're sticking it in a machine, and it gets gold. That's all they care about, and then we're going to charge the shit out of you. But there's a lot of prep work before you can just throw it in the machine. So I try to help people out. Like I get fucking DMs all day, and I'm try to be cool to some of these people, but most of the time I'm like, yeah, all right, man, you're gonna have to polish it. If you want to polish it, either I can do it if I got time, but most of the time I don't, or I'll send it out, or the best bet is get it polished before you send it, and then we'll take it from there. And then, you know, well, hey, dude, I got 147,000 followers. Why don't we, you know, do a little trade work? Well, because I don't fucking care. That's why I fuck your followers. You want a cold pipe? You know, come on with it. So.
Yeah, legit or fake?
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay to play, dude. And
no, I always tell this, and I mentioned it when Spicoli was on it. Even, you know, when we get sponsored with brands, we never ask for free stuff.
Yeah,
we always ask for at least, you know, what they spend.
Yeah,
you know, if they want to give us a discount, that's fine. And also, we don't just like post it on our Instagram and look, all these people are gonna see it. No, I always create a bunch of more content that nobody sees on our Instagram. So I create a folder for them and they can use it.
Yeah.
You know, like TBR's catalog is made with our pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right. Not only that, but we're going to do like a big purchase. You know, we're at least going to buy, if we're going to spend, you know, $1,500 on bags, we're going to buy at least 8 sets, you know, 9 sets. So, you know, it works out.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fuck around with that. Question, would you, you joked around about if you were to sell your motorcycle, how much you would sell it for, and if the price is right. But question, what if somebody asked you to build a bike like yours or similar with a little bit of a different theme?
I've been hit up a couple times. I always tell them, yeah, you know, fuck, I would love to help people out. And the problem is like 90% of the people, like, and here's my thing too, like even with my buddies, like you see the shit I post in my garage and this, that, the other thing. If you want to come over and help me and learn to do it with me, and like we're going to fail together or we're going to succeed together or whatever, that time's free. I've got a tight clique of dudes that I roll with in Bakersfield. Like all of us do something. Like one guy's paints, one guy, you know, he's a Harley mechanic. This guy's this. And we do not charge each other. Like that's a big no-no. We don't fucking do that shit. So like, for instance, like my buddy Bryant, he just helped me readjust my push rods, you know, whatever else. I'm going to do a whole new top end kit here shortly. He's going to help me do that. He calls me, hey, I need a deck built. I go over there and build him a deck. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the way it should be, right?
It's a collaboration.
Yeah.
It's a trade, almost.
That's what we do. And then like the other day, I just welded a fender on for this guy's chopper and, you know, yada, yada, yada. He's like, what do I owe you? Nothing. Just, this is what we do. But there's always those guys that are just always there like, hey, give me this. Hey, give me that. Here, come here, do that. Here, I'm going to drop my bike off and you do this. Thanks, homie. No, that's not how it works. You're going to come over here. You're going to help me pull the fucking engine out. You're going to help me fucking tear this thing apart. Like, that to me is more than anything else. But if somebody was like to come to me and say, hey, build me a bike, yeah, of course, I'd love to do it. But they don't.
I mean, would the answer be, I'd love to do it, but I can't because I got a full-time fucking job?
I'm so fucking busy, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Plus
booked.
my hobbies, and I like to ride and scuba dive and chase girls and all that shit. So, but yeah, if the money was right, fucking come on with it. I'll make time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but
how much would the money be right for let's say a chopper?
Well, that's the thing, dude. I have no experience building choppers. So if somebody came to me and said, build a Dyna, then, it depends on how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole, how much horsepower you want, how much
performance
you want. Like one guy hit me up and he's like, I want demons across my whole bike, right? So my airbrusher, he's an awesome airbrusher, but when it comes to like pinstriping and clear coat and this and that, like I'll do that myself or I'll have somebody help me or whatever the case may be. So immediately I hit up my guy and I'm like, okay, check it out. It's a huge fucking bike. He wants demons through the whole thing. And he's like, well, that's this many hours of work and like $6,000 worth of airbrushing. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that's without the clear coat, without the pinstriping, without, making the shit look, show ready.
Finished, yeah.
So I come back with him and I'm like, dude, you're looking at about $10,000 worth of paint. And then people freak out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And same time though, these other shops, I'm not going to say any names, but like just for a scallop job, it's fucking $10,000.
Of course, that's what it costs.
It's insane. That's why I taught myself how to do this shit.
Chase from Fast Life Garage, he charges $2-3 a helmet.
Oh, dude, but he's worth it. The motherfucker.
He's worth it.
Yeah,
he's fucking amazing. Hot Dog back in the days, which is Jesse James's painter from West Coast Choppers, he would charge anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 for a bike.
And that's insane to me.
Like, yeah, but people, people
well,
have
look at
deep pockets.
Jumbo's bike.
Yeah.
Our friend, I don't know, you know him on Instagram, Jumbo Fresh. He's selling all gold and a paint job on a lowrider S.
Metal flake in.
That paint job was $5,000.
Yeah.
Back in 2016 or 17.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to sell the bike, and people are like, "Well, it doesn't have any engine work other than there is a 117."
Yeah.
From the kit of Harley.
Mm-hmm.
They're stage 2 or 3 at that
everybody's
point.
got to realize, dude, you're not going to ever get back what you got in these things.
Absolutely.
Sure.
No, I think the simple math for it is every dollar you spend, when it's time to sell it, you'll probably get.
But it's still worth it. The guy right now that painted that bike doesn't pay anything for less than $10,000.
Yeah.
So.
And you can't blame him for it. People are lining up to do it. And
of course.
Why not? My guy, he's semi like. Because there's a big lowrider scene in Bakersfield, and I love like 64 Impalas and Lolos and all that bullshit. So we're at an Easter show, and my buddy Brian, he's like, "Let's go check out these 64s," because he's got 64 Impalas. So we're walking by, dude, and I see this trunk piece, and it's the most insane like airbrushing work I've ever seen in my life. And I hit the dude up. I'm like, "Hey, bro, who did this?" And he goes, "Oh, this guy, Mr. Joe." I said, "What do you charge you for that?" He goes, $500.
Oh shit!
And I said, "Does he know what he's worth?" And he's like, "Yeah, but you just go talk to the guy." So immediately, bro, I called him up. I'm like, "How much?" This was the first go around.
Yeah.
The guy's good. He's upcoming, but he wasn't like 100. He wasn't at the Fast Life Garage guy. What's his name again?
Chase.
He's not Chase's level. So a couple of times, hey, fix this. Hey, touch up that. Hey, da. But
He's just trying to survive.
Exactly.
He's just trying to stay busy.
I'd much rather help that guy out. Like, here, fucking,
of course.
let me boost you up a little bit, put some cool shit on the bike, and then maybe I'll try to blow you up on Instagram or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's a little bit the same with tattoo artists. This guy, and I'm just showing a portrait I have. Mm-hmm. This guy's incredible. His name is Vinny Romanelli.
Mm-hmm.
And
a tattoo right there?
Yeah.
That's a cool fucking name.
And he is completely normal in prices. Tattoo places are going crazy now. To make a reservation, you have to pay $1,000. This guy, I got this portrait for $150.
Man,
it's in New York City, so it's not like he didn't have work.
Portrait, yeah.
He's just like, no, I'll just do it for the price that I think is fair. I'm not gonna charge crazy stuff.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Once the guy gets big enough and he can charge that much, more power to him. But
yeah, you gotta
I
get
love
started.
just trying to get the
I respect
the
both
guy
of them.
going,
I respect both of them, but this guy definitely has his feet on the floor.
So what else are you gonna do to that bagger over there?
The bagger, fuck. I'm contemplating on the suspension. I'm thinking about going Legends.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's kind of where everything's pointing, unless there's somebody fucking hints otherwise. I want to raise it because on the Streak Light it's got the 12-inch. Mm-hmm. So I think I want to go at least 13, 14, because it's even for my height, it's pretty low. I'm like completely flat, and I want more space, travel when I ride.
And that 114 is completely stock. You haven't tuned it or nothing? Not yet, anyway, right? Yeah,
no, I still got to do once I change the air intake, add the pipes. I'm contemplating. I really want to do the TBR. We got a pretty decent deal with them. That's why I'm I'm more heading towards that direction. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to order it as soon as possible.
They're
back ordered right now.
Yeah.
But pipe, I'm contemplating either download or a Power Commander. I've heard if you usually go Power Commander with California bikes, it's not as better as the download.
So you're not worried about the warranty or nothing? Or are you just gonna swap it out if something goes wrong?
Yeah, I'd probably just swap it out if something goes wrong. Especially because
you can go up to 131. Just even with the other kits, you've got the bigger flywheel because you got that 114, so you could easily push 160 out of the thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That would be a total sleeper. Yeah, that'd be a
bike. Total fucking yeah.
Then you'd not be gay with your BMWs anymore.
Yeah. Well, half and half, bro. Hey, it's only gay if you like it.
Yeah, I would say it's bi because we do have our Harleys also.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he still has the Dyna lowrider and the BMW.
I've never felt like I've been so cornered in my life right now.
Yeah. Literally, you're in the corner of the fucking room right now, and we got Mark in the back right there to make sure you don't escape.
Anything you need to go for a ride on Robert's bike.
Yeah.
We'll see. Now you guys will be taking pictures and shit. Hey, look at this guy.
Yeah, look at what the fuck, what a fag. Wait a minute, that's our bike.
Talking so much shit about us, and look at him.
No, well, I don't know how it is in LA, but like every BMW rider guy, there's a certain personality about them. Like when they first came out, I don't know if you noticed that. So most of them are techie type. You know what I mean? So like scuba divers, right? There's your regular scuba diver. There's your hunter. There's your tech diver. Tech diver is the guy that's got fucking 50 tanks and he's trying to go to 300 feet deep and fiddle fuck around and just look at me, I'm a fucking tech diver. He's a fucking dork. He's spending 8 hours decompressing and all that bullshit. That to me is the BMW.
It's interesting. I respect that response, and here's how I'll rebuttal to that. People that do ride BMWs that I do run into do come off that way. They're
a little arrogant,
and they're a little arrogant. They're knowledgeable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tech guy, we'll use that. But I feel like there's been a change recently.
I agree. This shit's blowing up.
I've had people like I just told you before we started. We walked by Saddleman. We drove by Saddleman to pick up my seat for the streak line. We had like 3, 4, 5 crazy typical Harley bikers, tatted up, fucking bald, piercings everywhere, just all crazy. Yeah. Look at us saying, "That your bike? Are those your BMWs out there?"
We got scared for a second.
And literally for a second, I'm already like grabbing keys and shit, knuckling up, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's our bike." And they're like, "Those are some badass fucking bikes. Can we make a seat?" It's like, "You want to make a seat for us?" Yep. Boom. They took measurements, took some pictures.
Those things are selling like hotcakes. They've seen a business opportunity and they jumped on it.
and it's funny. And now, and the compliments, like when I ride the street glide and I go to a bar, there's people, "Man, that's a nice Harley, man. That's my fucking dream." But on the GSs, that same shit's been happening lately. We were driving to...
you live in LA. I mean...
Well, why so close to West Hollywood, huh? Yeah, that's right. No, we were driving another place. There's a guy driving an M5, sick-ass fucking car. That guy rolled up with his girl in the car, honking. Yeah. Yo, nice fucking bike. That's just bad. Yeah, so I think it's been changing.
You see what I drive? I got a big old lifted Dodge. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fucking M3 and your little drop-top BMW.
M8 or M5.
But then you have guys like Darren from Parts and the BMW dealership. And that guy is like you or any of the Harley guys, except that he rides a BMW. Yeah. They tell us every time we go. Darren walks in every single day. He rides into dealership 12 o'clock. And you're like, holy shit! I want to see it. And he's like, no, that's illegal. I'm not gonna let you shoot that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, it seems like it's a thing that's happening.
Dude, trust me, I like all motorcycles. It's just not something that I would pursue. Like, to me, I'd rather build a rigid chopper and fucking beat myself to death and look cool as shit having something one of a kind rather than...
But would you go with that bike on a trip?
Anywhere.
Would you go with a hard
oh, yeah, absolutely. He would go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
He'd go anywhere. No rear suspension, just a rigid frame.
Whatever.
Absolutely. And there was a time... But you know what that is? And I'm going to put you on the fucking spot right now.
All right.
That's 4 years of riding experience.
I know, man.
All right, bro.
It's a lot of seat time.
That's 4 years. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's 4 years. I've been riding like hard since fucking 17, 16 years old. And I'm telling you, I've been through enough bikes that I can see, I see the difference between it. Like there's a balance.
Yeah.
There was a point, even 5 years ago, where I would be with you right now, I'd be like, yeah, bro, I'll fucking ride a rigid frame.
Well,
any
me
day.
too.
No,
I would do it, but
you
not
know?
on a trip. You know.
No, I get it.
No, even on a trip, I don't even give a fuck. I remember taking my FXDXT, fucking Reno, wherever the case is.
Never say never. That's all I can say.
Right. Yeah, never say never.
But I'm
For me,
I'm just busting your balls because you sold your lowrider ass and got that fucking pile of shit.
No.
He
got the Lorraine race for the street
I
light.
got the street glide.
I thought you traded in for that Fruit Loop.
No, you're wrong. I went to Bartell's
Yeah.
and I traded in the lowrider for the street glide.
Oh, okay.
And then a month later, picked up that just because he was getting one. I was like,
you know,
fuck.
I hit up Jaime, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Hey, you riding this weekend?
I don't know.
Was it you? You run the Los Pepes page,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Yeah, so I hit him up. Hey, you guys riding this weekend? They're like, yeah, we're riding to blah, blah, blah Sunday. And I'm all, are there all those fucking gay bikes going with you?
What was that? Oh, yeah, you did.
You're like, I don't know yet. And then silence.
Yeah, no. And I told him, I go, Trevor's going to be on the podcast. He's going to bust our balls a little bit for the fucking BMWs. He's like, yeah, he just wrote me. Said, you can go on those gay bikes or something? I go, did you respond? It's like, no.
No, I did respond.
No, I don't think you did.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking
No, I know.
Look for
I
it.
just...
All right.
you got to remember back in the day, like all these old school bikers that I still run with and stuff. They're just, they will not be caught dead riding next to anything but a Harley. And we're talking about,
fuck, I'm gonna butcher this. Papa, the president of HA back in the days in San Francisco.
never met
He
him.
got shot down.
I bet you like
Hey.
San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh man, San Francisco's gay. I love San Francisco.
I do too. That's a beautiful city.
I think it's hilarious how you say San Francisco and people think that like when you pull in and actually my buddy Dean described it this way. He goes, "You go to San Francisco and people think they're gonna like throw dicks on you or something." Like it's nothing like that. San Francisco's an amazing city.
No, it is.
But the president of Hell's Angels back in the days before he got shot down, he was rolling with the GS, and we're talking Hell's Angels. President of the clubhouse in Daly City. He used to ride that.
And this is or true or we're gonna get shot at some point because Robert has said it 40 times already.
Yeah, you're going on record with this.
No,
so, yeah.
everybody knew that. Everybody knew that about him.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite companies out there for Dyna's accessories?
Well, I'll start back over with like shops, right? So started toying with a couple different shops, but I don't know if you guys met Jim down at IMZZ.
Yeah.
So I met him through Kevin, Dinosaur or whatever, and went down there, met the dude, took a tour of a shop, and like the fucking dude does everything, like literally. Probably, you see like old school biker dudes and like, kind of like the Jesse James types or like the guys that I'd hope to be like one day if I ever open a shop. Like this guy fucking airbrushes, he paints, he builds engines, he builds bars, he builds the swing arm on my bike. He does from top to bottom the guy fucking does it all. So immediately I was like, oh, this kind of shop I want to hang out in and whatever. So from there, I get my parts and fucking whatever else. But as far as suspension goes, like I can't like promote anything because I've only ran one, which is the RWDs. But as soon as I put those RWDs on, it was fucking night and day, dude. Didn't you run them? Or no, you ran them?
Yeah, I ran them.
Yeah. Did you like them?
I like them a lot, yes.
Yeah. Just so that's my suspension. I did the Race Tech.
You have 14s?
Yeah. And then I did Race Tech gold valve in the front.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on the fence about that right now.
I thought it was Legend on your front.
Not yet.
I'm running all-ins on my front.
For the drop-ins?
Yeah.
You love them?
I really like them. Also, I had a stock in the front end while I put the RWD in the back, and that was a nightmare.
Really?
Because the back was so nice and the front was so bad.
Squishy.
Yeah. And when Mark was telling me about it, when you do the back one, you have to do the front because if not, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's not compensated or balanced. So I put the all-ins and it's great.
Well, I'll look at those. I've been looking at the Legends, and then I was looking at the RWDs, but I'm having problems trying to get the 2-over. Like nobody makes the 2-over, and then I don't want to buy new tubes.
All-ins makes 2-over.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. So that's suspension wise. I'm actually looking at those 2-inch drop trees from Sac Nation Racing or whatever. You can use your stock tubes and then come down 2 inches because I need that clearance for the canyons. And then what else?
Well, what size suspension do you have? 14s or 13s?
On the back, 14s.
14s.
I took the dampening rods out and welded 2 inches into them. So that did like a ghetto lift. I don't know if you've heard of people doing that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like just it's a shortcut. It's almost like when you used to lower cars, you'd cut the springs or something.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, dude, that ain't the right way to do it. So I wanted to do the 2-inch drop trees to where the top of the triple tree is down 2 inches, and then everything's still stock length, so you won't get as much wobble and stuff. So I think I'm gonna do that next.
That's how Ash has it. But he has it because he bought
He got a deal.
He got a deal in the 2-inch over tubes.
Yeah.
And now everything that he's buying is for that.
Yeah.
That's why I know that Allins makes the 2-inch over. Oh. Because he has them the same way that you want it. Just drop the triple trees down 2 inches and that's it.
So looking at that, and then as far as like performance wise, I've been really happy with T-Man. So I put T-Man pistons in there, high compression, and then those 660 cams, and like in 6th, bro, I can literally just drop it and gone.
Have you willied?
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you willy? You willy all the time?
No, fuck no. I'm not good at that shit. My boy Jeremiah, he fucking nailed it on the head. We're out dicking around one night, or they're out doing willies, and I'm like, all right, my turn, look at me. And we're trying to practice, and he looked at me and he goes, if you put this thing down right now, what's it going to cost to fix it? I said, fuck, I don't know, man. I haven't thought about it. And he said, probably $4,000 to $6,000. I said, yeah. He goes, go buy a stunt bike, dude. Quit fucking around. Your bike's too nice. And then I was like, you got a point, dude.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
It's not. Like, yeah.
It's not worth it.
So that, and I don't know, man. Going to work with broken shit. Cause it's
it's the worst.
You know what I mean? No, it's going to happen.
It's the worst. Especially the way you're riding it as much as you do.
What helmet do you ride with?
Doing the Shoei 1200 right now.
The
no, I'm sorry,
RF 1200?
RF SR, but I'm gonna get that 1200.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've had that Shoei for like 3 years now, I think. 2.5, 3 years. Yeah.
The SR?
I love it. Yeah. Fucking love it.
Pretty light also.
That and the wind noise and just the view, and then that transition chilled.
Mm-hmm.
You rocking Cenas?
No, I had the Lexan, or what'd you say this?
The Cena headphone, the Bluetooth, or
I had Lexan first, and then once Carlos shot me that Plex Audio.
you just pulled it out.
Fuck this, dude. He was like a whole different world, man. Like I can listen to everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between what's better, the speakers on the Streak Light or the Cena.
Yeah.
And for a second, I was like, the fucking Cena.
Yeah.
It's cool. But then I picked up the new Memphis Shades Shield, and it just has the wind coming right over me. Now I can hear my speakers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is pretty fucking nice.
Don't get me wrong. Before all that, I had the earbuds in, right?
Right.
And I would just tune out. Like, didn't hear nothing. No road noise, no nothing. But it was
especially
dangerous.
with the new AirPods.
Oh, fuck.
The noise cancellation.
I loved it. But, dude, it was not safe. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't hear fucking ambulances going by. I couldn't hear my boys,
Not only that, but you go to a park instruction, somebody's instructing you, like, park over there. And you're like,
yeah,
I can't hear shit, man.
So now that I switched to the Plex, it's plenty loud, dude. I'm good. I'm happy with that.
And then you control. I haven't fucked around with the Plex, so you control everything over the phone, right? Or does it have a separate control?
And then it's got a controller too. So,
it's got a control.
Yeah, it comes with a little Bluetooth wireless deal. And then as soon as you put on, like I have Amazon Music, right? So I'll just pick my station, and then if you don't like the song,
I don't like Amazon.
Oh, so you just hit the little forward button, pause, play, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
That's dope.
But what else do I got? I just recently switched from Shinkos. I was diehard Shinko for a while, and then the last 2 sets I got were just so out of shape, dude. Like when I went to balance them, like you could see the rim spinning perfectly, and the tire was just and just over and over. I loved them because they're so sticky. When you drag race off the line, like I can hook off the line, just boom, gone, see ya, bye. But I didn't want to give that up. But then I'd get into these long sweepers in the canyons, and I was just getting so much wobble. And I said, all right, that's enough. So I switched over to the K591s, and so far I'm happy.
You swapped out the rims, right? You don't have the original.
No, those are original.
Those are original?
Powder
coated?
Yeah.
You think about switching rims at all?
I want to get those new Lowrider S ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are dope, dude.
Would you consider getting the new Lowrider S?
Oh, yeah.
Trade it in or second bike?
No, it'd have to be second. And I've thought about that between Bagger and
the Lowrider S.
And the Lowrider S, because if you can get those new bags and do the quick connects or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the quick release.
You could do, basically you'd have the best of both worlds to where you could, I think that Laidlaw Harley guy did that, didn't he?
Matt Laidlaw did it.
Matt Laidlaw.
And Mark was
fucking
like,
so sick,
the
bro.
gray one,
God,
the one he posted, I think
dude.
looks fucking mean.
And then you want to go hit the canyons, pop them off, dude. Done deal.
Yeah, that's a good fucking setup he did. These last few ones.
That's probably my favorite bike right now.
Yeah.
But
What about the? You're a sailor.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go fucking
You trying to
scuba diving, crabbing.
Oh yeah. No, I was a commercial fisherman for a while. I did crab and lobster, and then
Oh, so you commercially?
Yeah.
So you were trained professionally.
Wow.
No, and I didn't mean anything other than you're a fucking sailor. You're a legit fucking.
Just
you
some
know,
song
what
went
else
through my
could
head
you
when you
mean?
asked me
Yeah,
that.
that's weird.
Yeah.
No, I just
Not
had
a-
some
not a-
song went through my head right then, and I was like trying not to laugh. Anyway,
shit.
no,
man. Grow up, man.
no, I've been boating for a long time. So like,
You have your own
ocean
boat?
stuff, of course. Yep, down in Long Beach, and then yeah, honestly, like before the Harley thing, like the ocean was my passion. Like that's all I cared about. That's every weekend.
That shit's terrifying,
Oh,
bro.
I fucking loved it. It's
Shit's
so fun.
terrifying.
There's nothing like jumping off of a boat in the middle of the ocean at night at like 1 a.m. and catching lobsters with your bare hands, dude. Like
That's
there's a fucking
insane.
rush that you just comes over you, and then when you get one, like that first one, it's over with. You're hooked. It's done.
How deep? I mean,
I don't go past 120 unless like
Fuck, but that's.
I'll get down there and like sometimes like I'll dive the oil rigs and there's scallops on there, right? So if you get down to 120, nobody else will go that deep unless you're one of them fucking tech diver BMW guys.
Yeah.
And then you shoot
With their nerdy
A BMW diver.
so you shoot down there, dude, and these fucking scallops are the size of dinner plates. Like when you pull the scallop, because you leave the shell on the rig, and you
Yeah.
take like I made a scallop knife out of aluminum, and you just take it and separate the scallop from the shell. And when you pull it out, dude, it's the size of like the palm of your hand. Like,
Holy shit.
it's insane. And once you eat those things, like you go to the store to try to buy them,
It ain't the
it's
same.
not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get ruined. So, as a matter of fact, I came up on a scallop pearl like 6 years ago, and they're like 10 times more rare than actual pearls. So I took it and made a little setting for it, and yeah, I was pretty stoked on that one. They say guys that do that shit for a living, they never come across them. So I actually Googled it, and it's worth like $6,000. That might be my next engine.
Fuck, there it is. Get that shit paid off.
Yeah, but yeah, there's that, and then like lobstering, dude. That's my big thing. I love doing that shit.
What's the farthest? You ever leave California and sailed?
No,
It's always been local.
well,
Which is still
I'm a
fucking
power
amazing.
boater, so
Yeah.
like sailing and like power boats are limited to your fuel. So that is one thing though. Like bucket list check off is I want to get a sailboat and sail to Hawaii and back with no
Fuck.
engine power. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
solo dolo, fucking get her done. Eat what you catch.
What's the how long does that take?
Oh shit.
I mean, what would
There's-
they say? You know,
It
the
depends on your
average-
sailboat too. Like I've read a couple books on it, and then they have races that go out there, and I mean, just from the wind from Long Beach or here to Catalina, with the winds are so bad, it takes 8 hours.
Oh,
to
really?
where, yeah, to
From
where,
here to Catalina?
yeah, on a sailboat.
Yeah.
But on my boat, 45 minutes an hour, done.
Done straight.
So that's where you fall into that. Do I want to get into sailing? Probably not. 'Cause
This is probably gonna sound stupid or silly to you, but do they make any solar power fucking?
Yeah, sailboats have
motorboats?
them. Sailboats use them, like the wind powered dills and solar panels and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just, and there's another thing too. It's kind of like power boaters are always against sailboaters, sailboaters against power boaters, blah blah blah. But
Yeah, it never ends.
never ends. No, but I'll try it. I want to.
I have here communication live with Mark, and he's asking me that I don't know if you heard the last episode that we talked about a little bit of aliens and stuff. Once you're out there, like out in the middle of the ocean, that you can see the stars, that you've been swimming at night. Have you ever seen anything weird?
Mm-mm.
Do you ever look up, or you only look down though?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely look at the stars, dude. That's like one of the joys of being a commercial fisherman. Like we'd go out to the islands for 3 days at a time and just eat what we catch and stare at the stars.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's rad. But no, I've never seen anything weird. You know?
Do you believe in aliens by any chance?
I have a theory.
You have a theory?
Which one is your theory?
I've been saying this
They
for
ride BMWs?
years. I've been saying this, and then somebody from some MIT professor came out, I think last week, and said it. And all the guys at work were all, "Hey, fucking, you've been saying that." So, you know, like we're constantly evolving, right? Like we're getting bigger, we're getting stronger, moving on, and like the whole telepathy thing, and so on and so forth. So my theory has always been
That is us from the future.
We are that's us checking on us. Like, because think about it, time travel's already been proven, but if you're the time traveler and you can fix the fuck ups, then you're never gonna catch it, right? So we've never actually caught the fuck ups.
Don't you think that one of the first fuck ups that we would have fixed, if that was reality, was the Hitler situation?
To an extent, they weren't here to change things. They're here checking on things.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a lot of bad shit that happened, right? But maybe it did get fixed, but we're in that different parallel universe. How about that shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I strongly, I think, I don't even think we're from here. I don't think this is our planet. You that knows the ocean so well and the sea and everything else, we're not comfortable here. We don't like being here. We need flat surfaces. We need light. We need jackets. We need sweaters. A polar bear doesn't need a fire. You know, nothing needs a roof. Fish in the ocean don't need, air.
No, this
we're
world
uncomfortable.
would be 10 times better without humans fucking it up.
Oh, 100%. I mean, a simple, we've talked about this before. Even COVID-19, locking everybody at home. Mm-hmm. Look what happened in Italy. The canals, you can start seeing clear water. You can start seeing fish in the canals. Anywhere else you look, even here in LA, you started hearing birds. Jaime was complaining recently about riding. He's all, fuck, this COVID-19 lockdown is bullshit. And I go, why? He goes, I ride on the freeway and bugs are just smashing my fucking, there's so many bugs now. This sucks.
Oh, man, it's over now. On the way here, dude, the traffic was insane.
It's the 101's fucking packed up. But my point is, you look at any fucking animal on the planet, and they're comfortable. The camel has a lens that goes over its eye, and it can walk through a sandstorm with no problem. Yeah. It drinks water once a month. Yep. The bird can fly without, just with whatever it has. Like, we're not, I believe we're not from here. We were dropped off. I don't know, man. It's all a mystery.
Yeah. Definitely keeps you thinking. It's fun to think about, though, for sure.
One more question I have for you. Where do you see the Harley-Davidson brand going?
There's always going to be Harley guys, dude. I mean, just in our little California realm of like what we do and like different styles and the club style thing and now the performance bagger thing and everybody kind of copying off of what California does and stuff like that. Now the rest of the world's catching on. And then like when you go to like Arizona, bro, like I was out there working and you go to a bike night, it's like fucking big wheel baggers everywhere. And to me, I'm like, dude, that was 15 years ago. What are you guys doing? So if they're 15 years behind, like they've got another at least 15 to catch up. Like Harley's not going anywhere.
No, I'm not saying it's going anywhere. I'm just all this culture that people are trying to preserve. Once Harley starts doing, like you call it, BMW takes, the Pan America is coming out, the crotch rocket is coming out,
the electric bike.
Well, so it's the culture going to change.
Of course, it's going to. It's got to. Well, think about when the Softails came out, right? Every Dyna bro on the planet was like, fuck those bikes. Fucking Dyna for life, blah, blah, blah. Until they rode them. Right?
Well, I think also people like Dyna's, like when I had my FX DXT back in 2006, 2007, people didn't like Dynas. It wasn't a big seller.
Exactly.
The FX DXT,
FXR was a big pile of shit.
Yeah, it was a big pile of shit. Nobody.
Now look at them.
Now, so it's. I guess that's a good analogy. We're 15 years behind, or some places are 15 years behind. So it's got to get time for them to get used to it. That's an interesting analogy.
So then you take these new Softails and they're club styling them out or whatever, and now it's all performance based, right? And Harley's catching on to that. The 131's coming out. All these kits are coming out. So you take this style of adventure bike, well, they're going to get in on that market. It's business. I mean, they'd be a fool not to. Like, you go to the IMS show, and Honda's making these big, mega BMW looking things like you guys got.
Yeah, they have.
Everybody is. Everybody's on that. Well, it's going that way. Is it going to go that way forever? No. Because not everybody wants to do that shit. You know, a cruiser's a cruiser, a Harley's a Harley, you know.
A hot rod's a hot rod.
Hot rod's a hot rod. Everybody's got its own little demographic.
Niche.
Yeah. So, yeah, do they want to get in that market? Fuck it, go for it. They've actually made that new engine that they're putting in that thing, dude. That's gonna be the business. So once those get out for 5 years, and then we start getting a hold of them and putting them in fucking FXR frames and whatever else, then you know that's how Harley started. I don't know if you've seen all that, where people just took the bike and then just completely modified it to their liking, and then boom, it took off. It's still that way today, in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't know anybody that keeps their fucking bike stock except for you.
Which is every time
my
I see
shit ain't
every time I see the Street Glide standard, the one that they released, the cheap one.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
affordable one. You mean?
Yeah, the affordable. Man,
Yeah.
it's
affordable.
cheap. It's cheap.
Affordable.
That was a good move in my eyes.
It was an amazing move
Yeah.
because you're gonna get Robert's bike and yeah, because yours come all blacked out. and you save some money,
but now it's different. But now it's different because when they did a standard, they had a standard Ultra back in the days. It sucked because it came with the blonde motor and not the black motor, and then plus nothing else. You know, which back then it wasn't cool because no matter what you did to the bike, your motor was going to look stock or the cheap version compared to any other Ultra.
Yeah.
You know, but
well, now you can. It comes without the
radio,
the Harley Davidson radio, but if you have that hold, you can just put the JBL Apple Car thing.
yeah, but you got to change rims, you got to change suspensions,
Well, sure.
you got to change the seats.
I think a good bath of powder coating would fix half of it.
Yeah, but then you got to reach out and see if fucking Trevor's available to powder coat your shit. Then he's gonna make you work and take it off. Like it's fucking gonna be a fucking nightmare.
That's the joy of it, though, man. Don't you love that?
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, that's the best part.
It is.
Except the part you live in.
Hey, I know a guy.
Bakersfield.
Hey, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a guy that knows a guy. Anything we missed, Trevor? You want to talk about?
No, just I don't know. Everybody that helped me with the bike, I guess.
You want to do some shout outs?
Yeah, let's do. Obviously, Jim down at IMZZ. Mr. Joe, who did my paint, get him on. Mr. Joe, I don't know what the fuck his Instagram is, 83 or something. Checkmate Auto Art did my pinstripe. T-Man Performance. Plex Audio is a big one. A big shout out to those guys.
Plex.
And then Green Brothers Designs, they hooked up that Lose Your Nut in the front. Did you see that?
I haven't.
It's just flush, dude. It's so awesome. And then that's it, really, man. But thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh man, thanks for coming
Thanks
out
for
here.
having the ride clean. You got a case for me? Or?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool.
I got you for sure.
Nice.
brother.
Where are you gonna store it in your bike?
I got the trucks here too.
Oh, you do?
No, I got you. I got you for sure,
Cool.
brother.
Hell yeah.
No, thank you for coming out here. I know we've been trying to plan this for a minute.
Yeah.
Fist bump.
Fist bump. Appreciate it. And what last thing? Instagram. Where can we find you if people want to get hold of you or check out your bike?
And ask you for favors.
Yeah, no shit. At Bulletproof Welder. No, anything you guys need, hit me up. I'll do my best to help you. But ain't nothing for free. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks,
Okay,
brother.
man. Nice to see you.
That's it. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Ride Boundless podcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. More importantly, share. If you know anybody that's in the motorcycle or car industry or is a fanatic or whatever the case is, let them know about this podcast. Sharing is caring. If you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, make sure to do it. Until next week, ride safe, ride hard, ride boundless.